New Year's. He was like, Happy New Year's, I love you. Like, you've been killing this, like, keep going, da-da-da. He's so, like, drunk that he misinterprets the call.
Quiet, because one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna find out the truth. And you know that I was finding out that truth. If I entertain something that I know is not true on the internet, people be like, oh, it is true because you're addressing it. But when I don't address it, it's true as well. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just not gonna entertain it. And at the end of the day, I know what's going on in my house.
Cardi B just dropped a straight up bombshell and the internet is losing its mind. A wild tape leak, Offset's name all over the mess, and Saweetie getting dragged right into it. This story is exploding and we can't look away. Now it's not just drama. Saweetie is reportedly coming for a whopping $50 million lawsuit. That's the type of number that makes your jaw hit the floor. Let's back it up though. The whispers about Offset and Saweetie hooking up while Cardi was pregnant, those have been floating since way back in 2021, and people keep pointing to that messy Migos lyric, "You bang the gang," which only added more fuel. Cardi wasn't having it though. She clapped back hard at the time, saying, "I know what's going on in my house," and shut the whole thing down as nothing but crazy lies with no receipts. But just when folks thought the saga was dead, Joe Budden went and dug it all back up on his podcast. Offset didn't just deny it this time, he basically called Joe flat out wrong, and then DJ Academics jumped into the mix, dropping names like Ari Fletcher and Chrissy Rock. Next thing you know, Ari is hitting him with a $50 million lawsuit for defamation and emotional damage. Nobody saw that coming, but when money slows down, those lawsuits come fast, and Ari clearly isn't playing around. But here's the kicker. That $50 million headline is wild, but the Offset Saweetie rumor has been living in the hip-hop gossip world rent-free since late 2021, and for good reason. This wasn't just a random cheating scandal, it was painted as family betrayal. Remember, Saweetie had just broken things off with Quavo after 2 years of flashy gifts, icy chains, and picture-perfect Instagram moments. Then in March 2021, TMZ dropped that now infamous elevator footage of them tussling over a Call of Duty case, and it went viral instantly. That breakup alone was messy enough, but the follow-up rumor? Nuclear. Social media blew up with claims Saweetie hooked up with Offset behind Cardi's back. No photos, no texts, no hotel sightings, just anonymous insider chatter. But because Offset already had a history of cheating, remember when Cardi even filed for divorce in 2020 before taking him back, people didn't need proof to believe it. The internet ran with it like wildfire, and the drama has never really gone away. October 2022, Quavo and Takeoff dropped their joint album Only Built for Infinity Links, and track number 4, Messy, turned into a ticking time bomb. Quavo rapped one line, "BF my dog behind my back," and that was all the internet needed to go crazy. Fans instantly pieced it together, saying my dog plus the gang had to mean Offset. Quavo later tried to downplay it, saying people were overthinking, but by then, the damage was already done. Shortly after, Quavo and Saweetie split, and in interviews, Quavo kept dropping hints that loyalty had been broken, making the rumor even harder to kill. By 2023, things cooled off a little, until Offset came crashing back into the spotlight with gasoline-level energy. First, the Joe Budden interview, where he doubled down denying the rumors, and then DJ Academics hopped on Twitch fanning the flames even harder. He went all in, claiming Offset was hooking up with women who were literally leaving "I love you queen" comments under Cardi's Instagram posts. He even hinted some of those women were Cardi's own friends. That's a different type of messy. Now, Cardi has been here before. Remember when Selena Powell claimed she was pregnant with Offset's baby? Cardi clapped back hard at first, then later admitted she learned not to feed lies with attention. In her own words, people gonna make you worse. So in classic Cardi fashion, she stayed quiet, at least publicly, during Academics' rant. But fans were convinced that behind the scenes she was moving in silence, stacking receipts like ammo. And that's what brings us to the most explosive part of this whole saga, the alleged naughty tape leak. According to whispers in the industry, this leak wasn't some random accident. Insiders are saying it had revenge written all over it. It was calculated, meant to burn bridges so bad that no apology tour could ever fix it. So after Academics threw Offset and Saweetie's names back into the gossip bloodstream, this thing could have stayed just another internet rumor storm. But instead, it went nuclear. Because a video allegedly surfaced, and multiple insiders are pointing fingers directly at Cardi B herself as the one who leaked it, and the stars of that tape? Reportedly Offset and Saweetie. If these whispers are even halfway true, then this wasn't just a revenge play, and it was a scorched earth move that changed everything. If the whispers are true, Cardi allegedly went for the ultimate 2-for-1 move. humiliating Offset after years of messy drama and shattering Saweetie's good girl image right before her next album could even drop. But that's where things get even crazier because Saweetie isn't just firing back with a slick subtweet, she's allegedly pulling the legal trigger, filing a $50 million lawsuit against both Offset and Cardi for defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Her team is calling it nothing less than a calculated career hit job. And just when that bombshell started to spread, Blueface jumped on X, adding his own chaos into the mix. He claimed Chrissy and Rock also hooked up with Offset, and not just once. This wasn't even brand new tea because Blueface had hinted at it months ago during their baby daddy drama. But now, dropping it alongside the Saweetie scandal gave the internet the perfect crossover moment of pure scandal. Fans couldn't get enough of the mess. Now here's where the debate splits. Some people say Cardi leaking a tape like that is way too wild even for her, and legally way too risky. Others believe it lines up perfectly with her history of clapping back hard whenever she feels disrespected. And honestly, the receipts back it up. And remember in 2022 when Cardi sued blogger Tasha K and walked away with almost $4 million? She proved she's not scared of courtrooms, and she's definitely not scared to play dirty when cornered. But the second word of Saweetie's lawsuit started circulating on gossip blogs. Another name started trending alongside hers, Quavo.
Offset them, what is it? Saweetie, Christian Rock, Ari, like, this is, yo, Offset was piping out chicks that Cardi was supposed to do music.
And it wasn't just because of that infamous messy lyric. Insiders say Quavo might actually get called to testify if this lawsuit moves forward, and that's where things could get ugly for real. On paper, Quavo had nothing to do with the alleged leak itself. But he's the ex-boyfriend, the one who lived through the rumor from the very beginning, and according to insiders, he's been sitting on screenshots, group chat receipts, and even text messages backing up his suspicions from 2021 that Offset and Saweetie really did hook up while she was still with him. If Quavo takes the stand, it won't just be messy, it'll be nuclear. And let's be real, Quavo has never felt like Offset deserved his loyalty, cousins or not. The trust between these folks has been dead for years, but now things are getting even more tangled. Saweetie's legal team is allegedly looking into whether they can also drag DJ Academics into court for defamatory amplification. Yeah, that's a real thing. Basically, they're saying his non-stop rants helped push a false narrative that wrecked her brand. And honestly, that wouldn't be the first time Academics' mouth put him in legal heat. Remember his beef with Megan Thee Stallion during the Tory Lanez trial? He was spilling so much so-called exclusive info that her lawyers hit him with a cease and desist. History repeating itself, maybe? Meanwhile, Offset hasn't exactly been playing it cool either. On that Joe Budden podcast, he took a slick shot at Cardi's rumored new flame, NFL star Stefon Diggs, saying, "None of my exes upgraded after me." Fans tore him apart for that one, especially since the scandal about the tape was fresh in everyone's mind. And if Saweetie's lawsuit actually gains momentum, that little soundbite could end up replayed in court as evidence of malice and ongoing beef. That's messy on a whole new level. But here's where it really blows up. Legal insiders are whispering that if this hits trial, the witness list could look like a hip-hop festival lineup. Names floating around include Blueface, Chrissy and Rock, maybe even Lato's current girlfriend. Imagine that, a courtroom circus of rappers, influencers, and exes all called to spill tea under oath. If Saweetie's $50 million case makes it that far, it won't just be Offset and Cardi in the hot seat. It'll be an all-out gossip festival in front of a judge. Now, insiders say Saweetie's legal team is building their case on 3 solid pillars. First, defamation, claiming the leak painted her in a false, damaging light right as she was negotiating major endorsement deals. Second, intentional infliction of emotional distress, arguing the leak was calculated to humiliate her on a personal level. And third, economic damage, pointing to canceled contracts and performance deals that supposedly got snatched away once the scandal broke. And they're not playing around. Word is, her team already sent out early discovery requests for digital forensic evidence. That means pulling IP addresses, email metadata, even cloud storage logs, all in an effort to prove who really pushed that tape out into the world. If those receipts land in the right hands, this whole situation could explode in ways nobody's ready for. Now here's where it gets explosive. Insiders are saying Saweetie's lawyers might be holding private messages between her and Offset that prove intimacy really did happen. Offset has never admitted that publicly, but if those texts are real and land in court, years of speculation would finally be confirmed. And that would back up the claim that Cardi's motive for leaking was pure personal revenge. But the real chaos, the possible witness list, rumors say subpoenas could go out to Quavo for his knowledge of the original rumors and any receipts he's still sitting on, DJ Academics could get dragged in for allegedly amplifying false claims. Blueface and Cardi and Rock might be called to speak on their public accusations about Offset's behavior. If even half of that comes true, we're talking about a trial with as much entertainment value as Rolling Loud. But inside a courtroom, and if forensic evidence ties Cardi directly to the leak, things could get serious. In California, the non-consensual distribution of intimate images isn't just messy, it's a crime that can carry actual jail time. Even if the criminal charges don't stick, a $50 million civil judgment could be devastating financially. Remember, Cardi's still dealing with that multi-million-dollar payout from the Tasha K case, and Tasha hasn't exactly been quick to pay up. Offset's brand could take just as hard of a hit since labels and sponsors run fast when scandal and legal payouts start swirling. But here's where the twist gets wild. A rumor is floating that someone inside Cardi's own camp may have been the one who actually sent out that tape, which means this could be more than a revenge story, and it could be a betrayal scandal too. Multiple unnamed insiders are whispering that the leak might not have come from Cardi's personal phone at all, but from someone close to her. One former assistant, allegedly spotted at industry events in New York, has even been quietly telling people they once handled files for Cardi, including private clips. And according to the whispers, one of those files just might have slipped into the wrong hands. What's still fuzzy is the role of Cardi's alleged former assistant. Were they fired? Did they leave on bad terms? Or were they just chasing clout? If the story checks out, it cracks open a whole new can of worms. Even if Cardi didn't personally hit send, she could still be held liable if the leak can be traced back to her possession of the file. That means Saweetie's lawyers could drag members of Cardi's team into depositions, and suddenly this isn't just a revenge play, and it's looking like a potential setup from inside her own circle. Insiders say even Cardi's camp is split. Some believe she confided in a trusted team member about the clip, and that person went rogue, either for a quick payday or to hurt her. Others swear this assistant story is just a cover, a convenient fall person Cardi can point to while dodging legal fire herself. Offset, interestingly enough, hasn't said a single word about this angle. No denial, no joke, no nothing. That silence has people speculating even harder. Either he knows there's truth to it, or he's trying not to dump more gasoline on a burning building. And legally, if Saweetie's team proves someone in Cardi's circle had access to the file and shared it, even without Cardi's direct order, their case only gets stronger. Under California law, even negligent distribution still qualifies for civil liability if the person in possession didn't take reasonable steps to protect the material. But here's the jaw dropper. Rumor is there may have been a middleman celebrity in this whole mess. Someone who's publicly cool with both Saweetie and Cardi, allegedly the one who passed the clip to gossip blogs. If that name ever drops, it could go down as one of the biggest betrayals in celebrity history. Word on the street says the tape didn't move straight from Cardi's phone or her assistant to the blogs. Instead, an industry friend allegedly played courier, sliding it into the gossip pipeline. Internet detectives have already narrowed it down to two suspects. One, a female rapper who shared festival lineups with both Cardi and Saweetie this past year, and two, a fashion influencer who runs in both their PR circles, and who already has a shady reputation for leaking private celeb material to blogs for ad revenue. If Saweetie's lawyers can prove a third party pushed that clip out, they can still loop it back to Cardi by showing she was the original source. Even if it didn't leave her hands directly, that means Cardi can't hide behind the excuse of, I never sent it to Saweetie's enemies if her own inner circle moved it for her. That's the loophole her legal team can't dodge. And this is where the conspiracy theories go wild. Some fans believe this so-called middleman wasn't acting on their own at all. They think the move was part of a bigger plot to pit Cardi and Saweetie against each other. Why? Simple. It weakens both of their brands at the exact same time. Think about it. Saweetie's been standing right on the edge of a major label push for years, and Cardi's been gearing up for her next album cycle. Now suddenly both are knee-deep in a scandal that makes them look messy and petty instead of powerful, and the fan theories don't stop there. People online are pointing fingers at rival female rappers who've been suspiciously quiet while all this unfolds. The internet detectives say silence in a moment like this speaks volumes. And if even a sliver of that is true, then this lawsuit could turn into the stage for years of old grudges to finally come spilling out under oath. Imagine rivalries, betrayals, and industry secrets all cracking open in front of cameras. But here's the bottom line. No matter who hit send, whether Cardi leaked it herself, an assistant went rogue, or a friend betrayed her, the fallout is already massive. Saweetie's $50 million lawsuit isn't just about a check, it's about reputation, career survival, and sending a message that no one can sabotage her and walk away clean. For Cardi and Offset, this is shaping up like a nightmare scenario. Cardi is still tangled in that multi-million-dollar judgment from the Tasha K case, and now she could be staring down another courtroom battle Offset's solo career, already shaky after Migos split, is once again overshadowed by scandal, his name buzzing online, but for all the wrong reasons. And if this whole thing ends in a quiet settlement, we'll probably never know the full truth, just like that original 2021 rumor that still hangs in the air. But if it actually goes to trial, buckle up, because that means text messages, DMs, and witness testimony are gonna hit the light of day, and it'll make messy sound like a bedtime lullaby compared to what comes out in court. And if that middleman's name gets dropped in open court, the internet might not survive the meltdown. But here's the real question. This case isn't just about whether Saweetie wins her $50 million claim. The stakes are way higher. Will Cardi's own inner circle flip on her under pressure? Will Offset throw Cardi under the bus to save himself? And will Quavo finally step up and confirm the cheating rumor that sparked this whole saga in the first place? Because if even one of those things happens, we're not just talking about a scandal anymore, and we're looking at a career-ending chain reaction that could shake hip-hop to its core. This story has everything: betrayal, receipts, lawsuits, revenge, and the kind of chaos that doesn't just fade away after a week online. And trust me, every time a new piece of evidence surfaces, it pulls us deeper into a storm that's only getting uglier by the day. But now I want to hear from y'all. Do you believe Cardi really leaked that tape herself? Or was this all an inside setup by somebody in her own circle? Or maybe, just maybe, an industry puppet master pulling the strings to keep both Cardi and Saweetie distracted and off their game? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this case is still unfolding, and you better believe the next chapter is coming. And it's about to get even wilder. So before you dip, make sure you smash that like button if you're riding with us, tap subscribe if you're a real one, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single messy update. Trust me, you're going to want to be here for the next video.